Our world as we know it now is disappearing. Once things are lost, they're lost forever. I mean, this loft will be completely emptied out with a modern style someday. My name's Mimi Gross. I'm interested in portraits, people, and atmospheres, and many other things, but that's the beginning. I went to public school in Harlem, then I went to high school of music and art, and then I went to Bard College. After 2 years, I left Bard and lived in Italy. I'm really old, you know, you should photograph other people. I should take your pictures. I have my phone, just stay right there, you two. Only fair. Oh, that's great. Complete with the robin. My father, sculptor Chaim, had a studio for many years on 9th Street, which I would go to very often by bus. I enjoyed going there. He had a Saturday salon with a lot of marvelous characters that I was like a studio brat. And I loved him and his work very much. Where I grew up, the home was separate from his studio, but all the art and the collections was in the house I grew up in. My father was great friends with a great photographer called Elliot Ellisoffen, because Elliot was an early Life magazine photographer. All of his friends would come to the studios. And then there were local artists who lived nearby who would drop in. And then there were groupie ladies who were always kind of hanging around that were mysterious to me. No matter who was there, how many people were there, or what was going on, he just continued working. So this chip, chip, chip sound, chip, 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 was very familiar, and the chips all over the floor, and the people milling around the various pieces of furniture and sculpture. Okay, so my father's sculpture, there's quite a few. This one here I'm giving to Bard College Library. Yeah. It's called Lignum Vitae. It's a very hard wood, and it's the natural colors of it. It was his favorite wood. My father had a studio on Grand Street. It was a building he had bought, and 2 empty floors upstairs. So he let me use those 2 floors. Whenever he was mixing plaster, he would come up to see me while the plaster was, you know, getting ready. And then suddenly he'd say, oh, I better go, because his plaster was ready. That's my father holding my daughter when she was little. You didn't ask that question. No, having a child. That's a real important question for a woman artist, and supporting oneself with a child.
How many children do you have?
1 daughter and 2 granddaughters when I moved here in 1980. This place was 100% empty. My daughter, she had her own big room. She was on roller skates. She skated around and had a good time. It was a revolution to have a child. She just made me feel better about life, gave me a sense of future, and she was such a wonderful character to know. She's a wonderful person. Oh, my granddaughters. So Sarah's up there. She's the second to the left with the purple sweater. And I would say that's not a very good portrait of her. And this is Layla, who's graduating college in another week or so with her friend Ezra. And the other portrait of Layla's that one with the stripes behind her. These drawings are all recent. We're looking at drawings that were done from life and landscape. In the last couple years, I have over 100 of them. And after making the drawing, then I like to make these little cutouts that are 2.5D, and then I make a bigger one. And I'd love to do all of them, but I did 5.
Mimi, can I have you back in this spot again?
really fixated on the stool. Well, when I first moved here, this place was empty. And I did this big piece thinking I'd do lots of them and sell them, and I never did. 40 years after I did it, I showed it. And it was in the New York Times in color 40 years later. So still for sale. 2019 I showed it. But I moved here in 1980 and I made it like 81. It took a long time to do.
Can I have you standing? You see where the sunlight is coming in?
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
Beautiful.
Artists in residence. It was a city law that after a lot of struggles, they were able to let 2 artists live in the building. And they proved who they were, what they did, and so on. We didn't have AIR. We were completely illegal. And our bedroom had a bookcase that could move back and forth. You couldn't see that there was a door there. This neighborhood changed so much in just a couple of years. It's not very pleasant. Architecturally, it's beautiful. People-wise, nobody says hello. And now, because there's like 90 galleries in this vicinity, it's a little worse. There's no pharmacy, there's no laundromat, there's no stationery store. Canal Street had 14 hardware stores, and now there's none. I would say that most of the artists in this neighborhood come for their openings. They keep their place, but they don't live here. No, there's no community now. 0. That's the future. Financiers. I mean, personally, I think it's terrible to have this gorgeous space and not be working in it. My own opinion. There's that 9/11 book. This is from the first day, literally. My television was broken, so I went out and just went drawing. And this great thing happened the very first day, which is this drawing. I think it was MSNBC. They were filming the woman who was in charge of EPA, Christy Whitman. And then they saw me drawing and they came over. You know, they said the usual, like, oh, that's nice. And then the next day I went down and I was trying to get closer to the action. And a policeman tried to push me away. This lady, move over. And the guy that was filming the day before, he spotted me and he said to the policeman, she's with us. So from then on, I was with the news guys. And every day I went and drew there, which is these drawings.
Wow.
Today is the next day of the rest of your life. So that's true. I always have loved drawing and painting. I really started as soon as I could hold a brush. I don't think I ever had a thought or doubt. It just eased into itself. I've never separated art from other things. When people say, I'm going to go do some art, that's ridiculous. I mean, what is an artist? What would you call an artist?
Someone who makes art.
Which is everything. It's not just visual art, it's music and dance and poetry and writing and living, which can be an artwork of its own.
Thank you so much for watching. My photographs are featured in my upcoming photography book, Artist in Residence, which is my continued documentation of the last generation of artists who live in these incredible loft spaces across New York City, which is slowly vanishing. The best way to support this video series and these photo shoots is to pre-order the book in the description below. Thank you so much to those who've already bought the book, and thank you to those who watched the videos. It really means a lot to me and to the artists featured in them.